Well, the snail pests that we're looking at, there's 4 different species, and they've all been introduced into Australia from the Mediterranean region about 100 years ago. And they've slowly started to build up in really large numbers in the grain belt in South Australia. They're moving into Victoria and Western Australia as well. And they're a very big problem in that they attack seedlings, but they also cause grain contamination, which is a problem when you're exporting grains, as we do in Australia. These snail pests are a really big problem in the Yorke Peninsula across to Mount Gambier. They're becoming a bigger problem, as I said, in western areas of Victoria and in certain areas of Western Australia. The area that they're infesting is becoming larger, and the problem is becoming bigger in those areas where they occur, where we can get up to 1,000 snails per square metre of country. There's a number of different control methods that we can use. Some of those include, for example, burning of stubble, but that brings with the problems of air contamination. We can roll the paddocks, but once again, you're more traffic across your country, use of fuel, etc. We're also been using a number of different types of synthetic chemicals. And once again, synthetic chemicals have off-site effects on birds and environmental contamination. So all of these things, there are problems with all of these approaches, and what we're trying to do is to add another approach, another arrow in our quiver to help to try and control these. What we're looking at is a series of nematodes that are native to Australia. So these nematodes occur in soils and attack molluscs and insects in the soil. We've done a fairly large, extensive survey in the eastern states of Australia where we've gone through and tried to find nematodes, and we've screened those for nematodes that will affect these snails. And we have 4 to 5 nematode species which are very effective at killing all 4 of the different snails. Well, biological control, especially this type of biological control, what we're doing is using the flora or the fauna that we have in Australia already and building it up in numbers so that that give that an advantage over the pest species. So we're not going somewhere else and bringing another organism into Australia. We're using what's already currently available in Australia. And these organisms, they're in the environment, they die back to a fairly low level after they've done their job, and so their effect on the environment is much less than a synthetic chemical. Well, we've found, as I said, 4 to 5 nematode species which are highly effective in the laboratory, and we've taken those through and started to use those in the field. We're getting as good as control as the synthetic chemicals, and this is in a very basic formulation, so everything's only going to get better from here on in. We're now investigating producing these, being able to track these, and being able to get them to farmers at a reasonable cost. Well, we're probably 2 years away from having very large field trials and where that farmers can start to be involved. We've got small field trials at the moment, but once again we're still trying to select our best isolate, and we still have a fair bit of work to do on our formulation to make these things work effectively in a variety of different environmental conditions. This work's been funded by the Grains Research and Development Corporation through their new products arm, and so they're very keen on helping farmers to use these sorts of new technologies on their farms.